Good morning, guys. Hello, welcome. We have our little princess girl, Maya, joining us for a breathing session today. How is everyone doing? Just looking through the comments from yesterday and how things were going with the new introduced triangle breathing. Looks like you guys are doing very well with it. Some of you, it was super easy, just the right spot, and some of you it was a little challenging. We went a little further than we normally do, and that's where we want to be. We want to be right at that spot where it's just a little bit uncomfortable. We're challenged just a little bit, and that's where we're growing. So Judy, said it took lots of concentration, but it was good. Claudia said it was a little harder to get the rhythm down, and Judy said, it was also very beneficial for us. So I love to see you guys improving in this way, and again, this was something that we couldn't have done from the start. It takes time to build up the practice to get there to where we are. So thank you for your feedback, and you guys are doing awesome. So we're going to go a little longer today, 5 minutes. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a story. I want to tell you a story. It's a story that I remembered when I came across today's quote. If you look above, you'll see a quote by Dyer there. But as many of you guys know, I spent years as a physical therapist. I'm still technically a physical therapist, but I spent years doing home health physical therapy where I'd go into people's homes. And this morning I was reminded of two men that I treated during the same time over the course of 2 years. One was named Kurt and one was named Bob. And what they had in common was that they both had ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. And for those of you who know what that is, it's a neurological disease, and once you get it, it's really one of the most challenging ways you could ever think of going. I mean, your nervous system basically deteriorates over time, starting with your fingers, your toes. It moves from your extremities to your body, and over time, it really gets to where you're fully paralyzed. And you're completely dependent on everything. You need full-time assistance, And then eventually, you also know that you're going to die. There's nothing you can do about it. It's fatal. No one is healed from Lou Gehrig's disease. So I was treating two men at the same time. One named Kurt, one named Bob. Both had Lou Gehrig's disease. And I would work with them and stretch them and teach their family how to transfer them. And I really got to know them and their families extremely well because I treated them all the way till they're on passing, right? But what I noticed about Kurt and Bob was there was a huge difference in terms of the experience they were having with the same diagnosis, right? So Kurt, when I went into that household, and I love the family, I love Kurt, but it was a very challenging energy, very dark energy. There was a lot of why is this happening to me? Why? There's a lot of watching the news, complaining about what's happening in the world. It was very challenging for his wife and family. Lots of tears shed, but just I would put that experience into one of a lot of suffering, right? And then Bob, on the other hand, his personality, his energy was one of complete acceptance, and he would talk about how grateful he was for his wife, his life, all the great things he did, and he very much put himself in a position of acceptance of what was happening, and in doing so, he lived through that experience with ease and flow, right? And I noticed the difference between the two was really the story about what was going on. One told a story, this shouldn't be happening to me, why me, oh my gosh, this is bad. And the other one said, I accept what comes my way, and I'm going to choose to have a good experience. I'm going to choose to have good feelings, right? And one suffered and one didn't. Both had pain, but suffering is different. Suffering's in the story that we make in our head, right? And this was a huge wake-up call for me because I started to look at myself and realize how I would complain about things, complain about the traffic or complain about, how my parents are this way or why doesn't Brenda understand me about this or all kinds of things, all kinds of complaints. And I realized I was conditioned to kind of complain in the first place, and then when Brenda did get sick and we had to work through that whole issue, it was the same thing. We both started to look at that and say, we can have a story that this is a bad thing that should never happen to us, or this is as it is, and we're going to do the best we can with what we have and move forward. So it's very much like what Wayne Dyer is saying in this quote. Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be, right? life is a process. And one of the main things we're talking about here at Native Path is this thing called harmony. Harmony. Living your life in harmony with your biology. Not just eating the way your biology is meant for you to eat, not just moving the way, but really living in harmony with whatever's happening in the outside world and flowing with it, right? And this time right here is one of transformation, right? We were going one way and we're shifting over here, right? And we can live through that process of life and retrain our mind like we're doing here and practicing and accepting what's happening. And then we can think about, this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? Worst thing ever, and then we'll suffer, right? It's just a matter of perspective and choice, and it is super, super powerful. So I say that because as we practice these periods of silence and breathing, we go internal. And in that process, we're able to see the stories that are in our head that cause us to suffer when there's no need. And that story is what's causing the anxiety, right? The story is what's causing the stress. Right, everything out here, how we perceive it, all of that comes from our perspective, right? Everything comes from a story, right? So we can choose to accept these things and flow with it and grow and learn to know ourselves better, or we can resist it and say it's all shouldn't be happening, right? So it's a huge, powerful lesson that I think is so applicable to these times and these moments. So yeah, just wanted to share that story with you guys. Sweet Maya. Okay, so again, we're coming back to triangle breathing today. Quick review for you guys who may be joining us for the first time is that you're going to inhale, imagine an upside down triangle, right? Upside down. Okay? What we're going to hear is a timer go off every 9 seconds. Timer goes off, you're going to inhale for 9 seconds through the nose. You're going to hold for 9 seconds, keeping the throat open. Don't want to close the throat. And you're going to exhale for 9 seconds. Right here, okay? The 9-second hold is a little bit more advanced. We're stretching the group here, people that have been doing this for a while now. So if it is challenging for you, I would encourage you to hang in there, or if it's too challenging, just go back to lesson 1. You know, especially if you're having respiratory issues or lung issues, just start with belly breathing, where we teach you how to get more air in your body over time. So I've got a timer here. We are going for 5 minutes. We're going to do 9-second holds. Other things, sit upright, get yourself comfortable. Keep your focus in between your eyes. Relax your face, okay? And we're going to start here in 5 seconds. I'm going to walk us through the first 2 rounds just to make sure we're all on the same page. Inhaling. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhaling on your own. How was that, guys? Good morning, Faye. Good morning, Lena. So good to see you in here. Oh, wow. So I would love to hear what you noticed today. That's a good way to kind of reflect on spending time in silence. Just what are you noticing? Are you noticing it's getting easier, more challenging? Are you noticing anything different throughout the day? Are you noticing anything that's uncomfortable? You know, are you noticing your breathing? Whatever you notice. Do you notice some thoughts? Do you notice some feelings? You know, creating a space for awareness is really powerful. That I've noticed in my life with like everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Also, want to end this with that quote for anybody who may have missed it. But again, peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. Yeah. So super, super awesome, and I think very applicable to these times. So. Hope you guys enjoyed that today. We did 5 minutes. We're going to bump it up to 7 minutes tomorrow. Keep expanding on this, but please give me your feedback. Tell me what you're noticing. That lets me know how everyone's doing. So thank you guys so much. Much love. Bye-bye.